Hey everybody, the Cosmic here. I was just going to go ahead and make a video over Benzinga Pro. Um, Honestly, there is a lot of information to go through just on Benzinga Pro. Even I don't have this perfectly set up to the way that I want it, but I'm currently working on it as I progress and get a little bit more familiar with this software. First, I'm going to go ahead and say, click this help button. This help button will bring up Benzinga Pro Help Center. You can contact them. Tutorial videos. Huge to go ahead and watch all these tutorial videos. They're about 5-10 minutes each. It does not take you that long. And a little thing I like to do is click on the video. Oh, let me go back here a second. So, click on the video. Go to this speed, 2 times speed. I absorb all my information, whether I'm looking up how to make how to produce music, how to set up trade setups, how to trade stocks, anything that I learn. I don't watch it on the regular speed just because I don't have time to watch hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of video. So set it on 2 times speed. If it goes a little bit too fast for you, bump it down to 1.75 or 1.5 times speed. That just helps so much, and that's just me as a professional student, um, always watching YouTube videos, learning new stuff, and that's how I absorb most of my information. So going back to Benzinga Pro, they I have these tabs set up. I have a main tab where I'll have my movers and signals, newsfeed, and details. So this newsfeed, I set it up as my sources of my 3 main sources: press release, Benzinga wire, and Benzinga signals. And you see that these are colored differently. So if I go to Benzinga signals, you can sit here and you can play with your color scale. So I typically like to have mine, something that I know what they are, and I can kind of see, and they can pop out a little bit easier. So it's up your preference. Then you can go to categories and select through all your different kinds of categories that you want to filter through your news. Your sectors, if you have certain sectors you only want to get news from, you can go through there. And then watch list. If you have a watch list that you're looking at, you can go through here and essentially just pick which watch list that you want to have watching. I don't have that set up on this tab just because what I'm looking for are big movers and big news. So with the movers tab, right here, let's just go over here and create a new tab to show you how I actually set that up. So first I select movers. You'll see that it'll populate this whole screen, your whole desktop here, and then you can select gainers and losers, just gainers, just losers, pre-market whenever you do your pre-market scan, regular and after hours, set your increments, your market cap. You can select it like automatic, customize it as however you want it. Um, so I do that. Next, I will set up a newsfeed. So I hover over the newsfeed and workspace. Next, I go to signals and workspace. And finally, I'll go to details and workspace. So this is it is set up just a little bit differently than what you see right here in main. It's honestly however you like to have it. I really like having, my tickers here so I can click it. I automatically see my details. And if I need to look through anything more in my details, or if I want to look at news specifically for this stock, it's all right here. So I won't have to wade through all this news feed. This is mainly just so I can see what's happening up to date at these moments. The same with these signals. Like, these are signals that I want to see. I want to know when a stock is hitting its 52-week lows, its 52-week highs, if it's gapped up in the morning or if it's not. Halts resumed, block trades, price pike, everything. Actually, go ahead and add. I do not have option activity, so it's $30 a month. So if you want to do that, you can also do that. Next, I go to all news. All news is, like I said, all news. It's essentially the same tab as I have right here in my movers, but it's just bigger for me. And I can have all my sources selected versus just those few sources that I have here. Just my Benzinga, signals, wire, and press release. Next tab, I go through my watch list news. Whenever you have your news, you see these right here, essentially your filters. And so you can go to watch list and you can click on whatever one that you need. Typically, I'll do it for the day, but I like my weekly watch list to be on there as well. So I can click and move them as how much I want. And you'll see I have all this stuff based on my thing. Also, a little sidebar here. You see this is highlighted. Google highlight words. Um, it's a great little desktop thing to have. If I want anything on here, I can go. Let's say TPH, TTPH, TTPH. Boom. And you'll see that they're highlighted. Now let's go to Mark. M-A-R-K. Boom. Now Mark's highlighted. X-E-R-S. Boom. Now that's highlighted. So I use that just so I can, the tickers that I'm actually really watching pop out on the screen for me. Next, my watch list. My watch list is going to be, right, you can populate it right here. So let's get this workspace out. And then populate your watch list. The watch list will populate in your screen. Then I like to set, with my watch list, I like to have my newsfeed next, because the next one that you'll add will be on this half. So going back to this workspace, I'll hit my newsfeed. And then my details. So my details, I have a larger population on this side of the screen. I like to look at it, and I like to look at my details more than I like to look at my watch list, if that makes any sense. But this essentially will have, this is how I have this set up right here. I have my watch list, my my details right here, so I can see all the information that I possibly need to know for this stock, and then I have the news for such stocks that are on my watch list. And on this one, I always have my I always just want to have my weekly. Sometimes I will like to I'll also switch it in between. And then clicking this button right here, you can sort through all your watch list. You can export your watch list to SCV file. One really cool thing about Benzinga Pro is that you can literally just copy these right here. So let me just copy that. Let me open up just for shigs a new Excel spreadsheet. Load. It's not new. This is my stock tracker right now. And then I paste that right there. Boom. All those things that I just copied now are populated in here. And let's say that I want these stocks right here, DYNT and TRNX. Well, I copy that, go back over to Benzinga, come up here, paste, smack. They go right there. So Benzinga has really good, really awesome tool that I like to have. And if I just want to get rid of them, just remove selection from watch list. Then you can also set up alerts for your watch list, any real-time alerts. I actually need to come through and configure this a little bit more myself, just so I can really know when my watch list, especially weekly watch lists, since these will move and I may not specifically be watching on them. Say RENN and ZYNE aren't moving on a Monday or Tuesday. They're actually doing nothing that I want to do. But say Thursday, they start popping off and I haven't moved them into my daily watch list on Thursday, and then I don't see it. So configure your alerts for your watch list. It's really helpful. And then If you want to get rid of a watch list, boom, delete watch list. And then you want to add a watch list, add a watch list. Easy as that. Next, breakouts. I like to have breakouts with my newsfeed and then details. Whenever you go to your newsfeed, you're going to go to your sources, and I select all of them. Just why not? And then spiking. I type in that right there. So it's a keyword. Any stock that is spiking will be notified by me on these desktop notifications. And this is amazing. I cannot tell you how many times that this has saved my butt or helped me make more money because I was able to catch the spike of the certain stock as it was moving up or down. As you can see, this is spiking up and it is spiking down. So, and it's typically anything more. If it's anything more than 5% is whenever I start looking at it, because momentum usually carries if it's over that 5%. I've personally noticed. And then of course I have details open. Details are probably on every single one of my tabs because I like to see the stocks chart. I like to see what's happening. The only downfall to me in Benzinga Pro is their chart. Their charting is a little bit more to be desired. I still have to mess around with it a little bit more. So that's how come I use eTrade Pro for all my charting needs. If this, honestly, what I use Benzinga for is my news, my breaking news, my breakouts, my signals, anything that I really need that eTrade Pro can't do for me. That's what I use this for. So with signals, I open up a newsfeed, open up another newsfeed, and then I will go. Actually, I don't need both these newsfeeds. I don't know why I have two of these open. I'll have a newsfeed and I'll have my signals. I like to set it on a price spike, a resume, a block trade, opening gap, highs, and lows. In all reality, I really don't need the halt, or I really do need the halt resume. I don't need the block trade. And opening gap I like to have just because I like to, catch these in the morning. But typically you won't see that. So I will leave that off and I keep it right here on my main feed. Just because it just a little less, clutter right here. So with signals, again, price spike, halt resume, highs, 52-week high, 52-week low. That's what I want to see in my signals, and I will get notifications on my desktop. And if I want a sound, play a sound. And if I want a voice, I play a voice. So I like this. I don't use the voice because I have Charlie squawking in my ear right here all the time. If you want to play Charlie, you click the play button. It's connected, and he'll start talking to you whenever he does. You can mute it. If this is shaded off, it's muted. If it's not, it's not. So easy as that. I'm going to go ahead and turn this back off because I don't want him randomly talking to me throughout the night, even though Charlie is my boo thing. So you have all these filters that you can apply to all this stuff. And like I said, this is still a work in progress, but it's already what I have is already so much more helpful to my trading. I cannot stress enough how good it is. Next, I go over to earnings and conference calendars. To do that, let's open up a new workspace. You go right here to calendar. And then with the calendar, you have all of these calendars that are available. Mergers and acquisitions, actually, I believe that would be a good one to go ahead and add to this calendar right here. So if I want that, I just go calendar in workspace and then mergers and acquisitions. And this is just a rolling list on everything. So if I want one more, we can do SEC filings. And as you see, like it doesn't populate the whole time. So, you know, just click this month. And you have to really pay attention to the calendar, like whenever it's looking for it. This is kind of loading a little bit slow, so let's just go this week. There's a lot of SEC filings, so there you go. That's beautiful. So I have all that set up. Next, you go to I have my SEC filings tab. If my computer decides to run it. I think I'm doing a little bit too fast here. Benzinga's kind of freaking out. Recording's also not helping. All right, I'm going to pause the video just real quick, and I'll resume once it helps. All right, I'm back. Yeah, so that essentially just made Benzinga freak out for me. I want to just leave it like this. I really like that as my conference calls and my earnings, and if I want to add another tab just for SEC and anything else, I can. So for SEC, speaking of that, I have news feeds popped up, 4 of them, and I go to sources, SEC only. Next, I have the most important forms that you will need, the 13G, 13D, 13F, and then the 10. So the 10K is really good to have. You know, and honestly, I want to add form 8. So now I'll have my form 8s, such as my 8Ks or my 10Ks. So this one right here is actually showing that they're having an offering. And what kind of form is this? I believe it is a it's not that one. All right, hold on. Bad example. There you go. S8. So any 8 forms or with an 8 in it, you'll see. And then on this one is my form 10. You see that right there. So SEC filings, to have these all filtered out, very cool to have. Next, probably the thing that I have utilized a whole lot that I have not seen any other platform really have is this unusual options activities. You have to know what you're doing here. And for this, what I say is go and watch these webinars. So right here, how to use unusual options activity calendar. So it's essentially calendar and unusual options activity. And it will tell you what people with thousands, with millions of dollars are trading and what they're putting their options in. So let's look at LK right here. That you have a put trade. Days to expiration, 7 days. Its strike is at 250. The option cost 54 cents. What the volume is right there, and how much they spent. So about $16,000 right here for that trade. Next, right here, you have a put sweep for good about 49 more days with a $1 strike. So they're essentially wanting the stock to go down. One thing that should be here that I'm surprised is not is sentiment right there. So go to columns. You can filter through that and go swing over. I like to pull my sentiment right here, and then close that down. So the sentiment is essentially telling me if it's a bullish or if it's bearish. So right here, you got two bullish sentiments on LK. So this is telling me that LK would be a great idea to trade in more of a bullish ideology. Just because you have these two big bulls right here on the newest trades or newest options activity. But then you have this one as bearish. I typically, if I'm going long, I want to see more bullish instead of bearish. Right here, you see Mark. You got some bullish, some bearish. Bearish, bullish. Like, Mark is a big mixed bag of nuts right now. People want it to go up. People are thinking it's going to go down. In my opinion, it's a great bull current play because there's a whole lot of hype around their infrared technology. I actually I was stupid and kept tracing emotionally. I made $300 off Mark in 3 days, and then my last day I just overtraded and going into the earnings call, which I told myself I was not going to do, and ended up losing $250. Still up $150, or still up $50, but if I didn't do that, I would be up green on the month. Whereas now I'm down about $136 on the month, which is fine. I'm still up overall on my total accounts, which I can show you right here. I go to my Profitly, and then go to my statistics and view my profit chart. I'm still up overall. I haven't gone negative yet. But I think Thursdays are days I'm just going to take off and not trade, because right here I chased an alert on LK and ZOM, and I lost, what is that, $250. I gained it all back in 3 days and then some, and then I lost it again. So I mean, I'm still going uptrending, but I was just dumb playing stupid trades. You can see I'm winning about 56% of the time. I do 88 trades. Now, a lot of people are like, 88 trades and you're only up $136. What's up? Well, I'm trading with an account that's at about $2,000. I'm not taking huge positions. And whenever I do take huge positions, I lose huge. And because I'm stupid whenever I make emotional plays. I just want to hold and hope and that they're going to come over. And by the time I get down to a level where I'm down uncomfortably, I finally cut my losses instead of cutting my losses quickly whenever the trade does not go my way. All right. And then next, I set up my scans. This is my last work tab that I usually have. It's my screener tab. I have it filtered through so I can look at all my micro stocks, anything under $5 that I want to trade. So my active filters right now is anything over $1 million that has changed 10% on the day, and it's under $5. And then this is what I typically use for my weekly watch list. So what I'm honestly going to do is go right here. And put my filters back up. You're supposed to be able to let me see if this works real quick. Copy. Let's delete this. That was from last week. Add a new one, so weekly again. I misspelled that, but I don't care. And then paste, see if that, no, that doesn't work. So essentially you'll just have to click here, add to watch list. This also helps me, just kind of whittle down if I don't like the chart, if I like the chart. So go here. This one's looking good. Let's look at the month. Let's go to the 3-month. This is why I really don't like this chart that much. Big green day, big red day, big green day, and it finished red. This would be an ideal short for me. So what I would do is I will add this to my watch list, add to my weekly, and then boom. populates right here. That's the wrong ticker, ain't it? That's weird. Let's try MUDSW. No. PHIO for a better example. PHIO, it looks like it ended up finishing red on the day, and it couldn't really push past that resistance. Ideal short, so boom, add it to my watch list. So yeah, that's essentially how I go over Benzinga. Like I said, you have to go up to that help button and to actually really utilize the full potential of this software. That just helps so much, my opinion. And you can also, change all this. It has a high contrast right now, but I really like the antique format. In my opinion, it looks really cool to me. So I have that. And then you can go to layouts and save. And then I'm going to save this as my main. Hit enter and delete that one. So delete my old one and I have that one now. But yeah, that's essentially how I have my Benzinga Pro set up for right now. I will continue editing it and tinkering with it as I get a little bit more familiar with it. I've only had it for about 2 weeks now, and man, I cannot boast enough on how awesome this software is. I won't use anything else for my news now. This is one powerful fucking tool that you need to have. Sorry for swearing, but like I said, I cannot stress enough on how good Benzinga Pro is and how cheap. $110 a month for me right now. I got a 25% off coupon. Google it, you'll find it. And other softwares are costing me almost $200 a month just for breaking news right here. Whenever I can just use E-Trade, which I get for free, and I'm having all the tools that I possibly need at my disposal. I have my charting for E-Trade Pro, and I have Benzinga for all my news. Now, Benzinga Pro is working on their charting. They are working on getting their OTCs up to date right now. OTCs are about 15 minutes behind. Everything else is live feeds. And they are working on making their charting a little bit better. But other than that, this is the best software out there. It is web-based. It's not desktop-based. I really don't mind that. That way I can, have the squawk on my phone and sit there and listen to my squawk, and I can get alerts and my synthesized voice alerts through my computer. But anyways, that's going to wrap up this video. Sorry it's a long one, but I hope you really enjoy it. Y'all have a blessed day. Peace.